The question is always asked, how did America let this happen? How did America get this bad? Why are you so critical of your country? It's because I know what my country is. I know what the electorate is. I know what the voting base is. I know that this government has devoted itself completely to taking advantage of and manipulating the mentally handicapped in this country. Let's have a look.
Are you saying you don't mind if your right to vote would be taken away?
I don't care. I know what I want. I know what I want.
But you wouldn't be able to get what you want if you can't vote for it.
I don't care. I've told you 3 times. I don't care.
Would you like to see Donald Trump run for president in 2028?
I sure would.
Even though it's against the Constitution?
I sure would like him to run again. I think he's doing an awesome job.
But it is against the Constitution.
Wow, I think he's doing a good job.
But are you a fan of the Constitution?
You know, I watched these clips with my wife because I wanted to get her reaction, because she's not American, she's Turkish. And her first question is, are these people mentally handicapped? But in a much harsher way, because my wife is Turkish. And I can't argue with her because, listen, we've been watching the clips. We've been watching the voters. We talk to the voters. We all know who that person is in our town, in our community, who has the flags, who has the banners outside of their house, Make America Great Again, 2028, let's go Trump, that kind of shit. It's always the same kind of person. They always have the same kind of look. Their mastery of English, questionable at best. What books have they read other than the first 3 words of the Declaration of Independence and the Cliff Notes for the Bible? Honestly, I don't know. This is what happens to a nation when it's completely abandoned the concept of education and expects its citizens to go ahead and get its news, get its understanding of the world from propagandized headlines. So if you're watching this and you're like, well, we're screwed. Yeah, you're right.
Why do you love ICE so much?
Because they help protecting America.
Yeah.
And we need them on the streets.
And do you approve of every tactic they're using now?
Yes, I do.
Were you okay with what happened in Chicago, where they took families out and children in their underwear and zip tied them?
Yes, I was. Whatever it takes to keep America free and clean, brother.
Personal space, you know? Jeez.
If Donald Trump pardoned Ghislaine Maxwell, would you still support him?
I really don't think I'd care.
Where do you get your news now? From what sources?
Let's see, what's someone? Fox News and of course, Facebook, like us all.
Trump is
Oh, God.
convicted, put in jail. You're still going to vote for it.
Well, first of all, he's not convicted until the Supreme Court convicts him. In America, that's not a conviction. We have an appeals process, which will take years. Yes. So by the time that happens, he'll be back in office and handle everything. Well, Jesus was convicted as well. Innocent man.
I'm going to have a mental breakdown.
I would like to see, say, Department of Education gone. I would like to see ATF gone.
Why do you want the Department of Education shut down?
Before the Department of Education, we were ranked 9th in the world.
It's important
There's irony to dressing up as one of the founding fathers, right? Setting your life up to think that you're a revolutionary character and dressing up as somebody who was probably immensely well-read, Enlightenment thinking, well-versed in many different aspects of theology, history, poetry. A lot of these founding fathers more than likely had a better understanding of humanity than the greater proportion of the population right now who has access to every amount of knowledge gained throughout history through the internet. It's mind-blowing.
believe in, to have respect for everyone's religion.
So you respect Christianity?
I do.
Judaism?
Yes.
Islam?
No.
I mean, listen. America's done. These are the people who vote. These are the people who choose who's going to go into office. And these are the people who show up, right? It's the apathy that's bled into the educated community because they realize that this is what they're fighting against. If you have any kind of understanding of the world, if you have any kind of hope for tomorrow, you watch clips like this and you're just like, I'm moving to Bali. And I completely understand that. Like I said, hey, we want to get, you think I'm going to have my son educated in this country when this is the outcome? We got to stop glazing over small town America. Listen, I'm from small town America. It's a dystopia. It's hell. You'll never find such amounts of hypocrisy, elitism, and racism in one place as you will in small town America, because the people are completely shut off from the world. Small town America is plagued with an unemployment crisis. Like most small towns are like 50% unemployed. And people just live off government handouts. At the same time, they vote for people who rip away the social safety nets, and they're confused when their life gets just that much harder. Because life in small town, it is pretty hard, because most places you're making about $7 to $8 an hour, maybe $10 if you got a good job, right? You're working that evening shift at the Dollar General. You're working at the gas station. But for the most part, it's just a graveyard where hopes and dreams go to die, or some tech billionaire who's tired of living in Silicon Valley and wants to, try to reenact a sense of normality by moving to a small town to get in touch with what America truly is. Then they go there and disrupt the entire ecosystem. Listen, small town America think that they're oppressed. They think that they're bullied. But at the same time, it's lionized and it's idealized like this is what America is. But it is the saddest place in the country. I love rural America. Truly, I do. Some of the best people I've ever known are just from the hollers of West Virginia. Some of the most giving, some of those caring people. And you know what? They're not MAGA. And usually it's because they have a understanding of reality. Their grandpas or great-grandpas were coal miners who worked in company towns. They were people who did union strikes. They were the people who got unions together. And now their descendants just clap their hands like trained seals as those same unions get decimated and all the safety regulations that their parents, grandparents, and great-grandparents fought for get thrown out the window for productivity. It's a sad state of affairs, but I mean, it is what it is. Listen, I think the irony here is that there's a big call for white nationalism coming from this side right now. But if you ever been to a small town in rural America that's 100% white, it looks like a hood. It looks like a ghetto, right? Everyone's an alcoholic. Everyone's on opiates. They have no real purpose. All they do is live for the weekend to get fucked up. Listen, I know that because that's where I'm from, baby. I know these people. In a way, these are my people, and I feel bad for them, mostly because they've been completely taken advantage of and don't even realize it, because the pride that's inculcated into the American soul is that no matter how stupid you are, no matter how dumb you are, no matter how many lead-based paint chips your parents let you eat, no matter how contaminated the water you've been drinking is that has just rendered your brain as smooth as a fresh olive, there's still a pride that we are the true America. If that's what the true America is, fuck that. Nobody wants that. Nobody wants to live in a place where the unemployment rate's 50%. Nobody wants to live in a place where the groceries cost twice as much because they have to be trucked into the Piggly Wiggly across 5 states. The crazy thing is, these people, as chaos in the world ramps up, right, as the global supply chain gets torn to pieces and the prices go up and up and up, these people will become more lionized. They'll dig in even more. They'll find another scapegoat to push all the blame onto. And it's never going to be themselves for voting the way that they do. It's never going to be the politicians they put into office, because they have, for some reason, painted their politicians as divine leaders. Corporate leaders and politicians are the two most untrustworthy groups of people on the planet. Now you have a government that's ran by and controlled solely by both of those things, wrapped up into one megalomaniacal, narcissistic, orange piece of shit. And it's really just driven our country to hell. But you ask me personally why I don't believe this can be saved, why I think that America is at its end run here. You know, we had a good run. 250 years, quarter millennia. It's a solid run. People had pretty good lives. You got to go to NASCAR, right? You got to watch the Nathan's hot dog eating contest on 4th of July. These are the good times. But when you give the staff of leadership to people whose entire understanding of the world comes from 80s action movies, Fox News, this is what happens. You get a collapsing economy. You get a government that takes everything from the people. You get a rise in hate. You get a rise in fascism. You get all these things because it's a culture of fear, and dumb people love fear because fear is easy to understand, right? You don't need to know nuance. You don't need to look into the gray areas. You just got to be like, well, that guy's holding that other guy's hand, and I don't like that. And that makes me feel uncomfortable in a way that I'm uncomfortable with. That's what this whole thing is. till my dying breath, I will say that the MAGA movement is just a movement that is based on emotion and fear, because everything that they do lacks reason, lacks any kind of rationality. It is purely driven off of fear-based thinking. And fear-based thinking gets you exactly what we're seeing right now. Now, doesn't it? I don't blame you if you want to leave this country, because honestly, there's no fixing this. You say, well, this is doomy. You know, you gotta lean onto hope. Yeah, I'm hopeful in people, but you know, listen, the United States is done. Right? The trajectory of the U.S. currency, its purchasing power, the collapse of our trade networks and our trade agreements, the fact that we've made ourselves the global enemy, the fact that cost of living is about to hit heights that we didn't even think were possible, and the fact that we have an entire population that thinks no farther than themselves, no community, no family. People will choose Fox News over family. We disown family members for this kind of shit at this point. This country's done. And you see golden visa programs, which most people can't afford anyway, they're closing down all over the place, or they're being pushed back 52 months like in Portugal. The world's closing its doors because they look at clips like this and realize these are the people who are offloading off of the cruise ships and wandering around their ancient, historic, little small towns in the Mediterranean like it's fucking Disneyland. But it's not Disneyland, is it? This place where people live. And it's always these people that you'll find to be the most insufferable, ugly Americans. But when you have an ugly American who's running the country, well, I guess it's just fitting at this point. But tell me what you think in the comment section. Is there saving this country? Is there saving these people? Right? Are they worth saving? Do we even deserve a society at this point? Let me know what you think. Like and subscribe, hype the channel. We love you guys always. Food for thought. Take care.